All right, hey guys, welcome back to another one. And in this one, we will be talking about Spider Man Brand New Day. So, I have just finished watching the movie, and quite honestly, I'm not really that impressed with it. It does not really live up to the hype, and uh, the best Spider Man movie in, the four that Tom Holland has been present in, I'd say it's still No Way Home. Brand New Day does not match that level, but then again, No Way Home was kind of like once in a decade kind of movie. So yeah, this movie, this review might have some spoilers. I mean, this will have some spoilers, but for those of you who haven't watched this movie yet and still in between that should I go or not, I mean, if you like Spider-Man, obviously you are going, but still, if you want to hear my 2 cents on it, I'd say that it's all right, but it's not that great. I mean, uh, the well, how do I convey my message without really spoiling anything? All right, it's beautiful visually. First of all, the web swinging scenes are good. Some are a bit, really close-up shots, so you don't really see much swinging. You just see Spider-Man hand moving, but where you can see the swinging, it's good. And the yeah, it's just all right. You should, I mean, definitely watch it, but I'd say lower your expectation a little bit, so this would be more fun. And yeah, that's all I could say without really spoiling it. So now I will, get into the spoiler territory. So if you still haven't seen it, um, here's the spoiler alert. Yay! All right. So the basic plot is that there is this mind controller who's trying to break into DRDO office, and Spider-Man is now helping DRDO, and he's helping the police. He has stayed away from Ned and MJ, so that's what's happening. But Spider-Man encounters this mind controller, using a tank to get into the DRDO, and he faces Frank there as well. And he says that, just leave this to me, Frank, you go home. Obviously, Frank, says no in his own way. I mean, you have seen this sequence in the trailer as well. So yeah, basically that happens. Then Spider-Man realizes that this person is hopping through one person to another, which again we have seen in the trailers. And then we realize that the mind controller can't really get into Spider-Man's head. She tries, but Spider-Man basically forces her out, and this telepath is freeing up Scorpion so that she could use him to get to DRDO. We still don't know why she wants to get in there. What's there for her to what's like so important that he wants to break in. So to figure this out, Spider-Man meets Yelena Belova, which is played by Florence Pugh. So all right, here I felt like they were not in the room together. It felt like both Tom and Florence shot their scenes at a different time or something like that. But yeah, she has a minor role in it, and she basically says that this is a smaller problem, you deal with it. Avengers are dealing with bigger stuff, so it's kind of hinting like Spider-Man is still in talks with the Avengers. He's not like directly working with them, but he stays connected with them. So in Doomsday we might see that Spider-Man would be with the new Avengers team, the Thunderbolts. So yeah, we see them that they had this meeting, and then he moves on to finding out more stuff. He meets with the DRDO main director or whatever it is. He's played by Mr. Milchick from Severance, and yeah, he he basically does not reveal much info to Spidey, saying that it's highly confidential and whatnot. So he just says that, hey, this is all I can give you right now, but we do appreciate your help. And it's told that the Hand is now working with DRDO because, well, their reasoning was that these are just some youngsters, and they didn't really have a purpose after we destroyed, the Hand, and with DRDO, we can use their skills in the right way to help more people. So now they are working with us. So, all right, here comes my first critique, because I'm such a like expert on making movies. So yeah, well, the thing is, why is Hand there? I mean, throughout the movie, the whole purpose of the Hand is that last fight scene. Other than that, they play no significant role. It's not like the Hand is involved, but Daredevil is involved. As people were speculating that, oh, there is this prison sequence with Hand, so Daredevil must be involved in it. Nothing. And like, I mean, they are just there for the sake of it. If you honestly replace those, Hand people with more DRDO agents, it would make like no difference. Like, the whole thing was that, oh, they would do these ninja techniques so they could manage to fight Spider-Man when he's swinging and whatnot. So I mean, it just felt like pointless. Like, give them something, but yeah, they are just there. And well, anyways, so we move on from that to Spider-Man meeting Ned. Well, not really meeting. So he sees him at the store, and God knows what gets into him, and he's like, "Well, let's follow him to his home." Like, I can get behind stalking. All right, it makes sense. Like, you are following him from a distance. Maybe stalking their socials and whatnot. You literally just went inside his home. Like, dude, what happened to working alone and all that kind of stuff? So yeah, he just follows him in. Then he sees that Zendaya, MJ is still there, and they have like a housewarming party. This was also in the trailers where he's like, "Oh, I'm from the neighborhood, a friendly neighbor." So yeah, that happened. They like talk for a few moments, and nothing really happens there. And then we see that MJ has a new boyfriend, and I mean, he's there just for like a few seconds, like 3 or 4 seconds, and that's it. We don't see him again or anything, and we move on. So later on, we do get Tom and Zendaya's thing happening. So for that, during that whole sequence, the one thing that kept playing in my head was that whole Lamine Yamal dating thing, which happened recently during the FIFA World Cup, where there was this girl who was in a relationship for 5 years with her boyfriend, and they were like engaged or something, and Lamine Yamal drops a hi in his DMs, in her DMs, and she's like, well, celebrating the World Cup championship next week with Lamine Yamal, and she has broken up with her boyfriend. So that felt like, a very real possibility here, but yeah, that does not happen really. And then we see Spider-Man get back, and now we get to the Spider-Man having his mutation. So they are, Marvel is still skirting around the whole mutation term. They try to avoid it. They're like, oh, these are special people. We have, we are different and whatnot. Like, they are not straight up saying that these are mutants or anything. So we see Spider-Man having those black eyes, and being stuck to the wall with his webs, and it's like only those shots which we have already seen in the trailers as well. So we see that, and Spider-Man is like, oh, well, this is a lot of input at once, so I need to control these things. We also get those classic terrace sequence when the Spider-Man tries to figure out how his web thing works. We also get the reference that, well, Peter too had like organic webbing. She was cool, so this must be cool. But yeah, he quite soon realizes that it's a bit too much for him, and things are not exactly working out perfectly fine. And all this while, Scorpion had broken out of the prison and he was like doing a bank robbery. And Spider-Man gets there getting all bruised up and whatnot because he still does not know how to control the organic webbings. And he just goes ham on him. So again, this character Scorpion hinted from like Homecoming, oh, when I get out of here, I'm gonna take my revenge on Spider Man and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, he's a tough guy. Uh, and in this one, we get nothing, like, really nothing. The whole, him escaping the DRDO, it was from the telepath. Scorpion had nothing to do with it. And when he's out of the DRDO office, he's robbing a bank, and we don't even really get the whole Scorpion thing in the green color. It's just his whole sting is there, and he has like this armor on his chest. We don't get the whole McGargan helmet and everything. We don't get how Spider-Man got him in, or why he hates him so much. Nothing. It we didn't really even see Scorpion. It was the telepath controlling him. So we basically saw Scorpion get beaten up by Spider-Man. He just chose such a wrong time to do this bank robbery while Spider-Man was going through the changes, and he gets so pissed that he just uh, goes ham at him, and he injures a police officer as well. So then again, we see that the chief is like, "All right, Spidey, take a break. This is not that's just not you, and I can't cover for you if you uh, kill a police officer or something like that." So Spider-Man realizes this, and then he goes to MIT to figure out how to keep his mutations in check with meeting with Bruce Banner, who uses the inhibitor on his hand to keep him in his human form and controlling the Hulk. And Banner realizes that he's not really a student, but he still guides him. And Spider-Man does just that, but the chip keeps overheating, so Spider-Man is having that problem because he's mutating. And then he encounters the telepath again when he's trying this inhibitor, and she's at his place, and she now knows that he's Peter Parker because the letter he wrote in the No Way Home ending sequence, which was like, "Hey, I'm Peter Parker. You forgot me, but this was the spell and whatnot." So she read the letter. Now she knows about MJ, and she threatens him that, I can get to MJ, and as soon as Peter hears this, he straight up goes to MJ and swings her away. And all this while he figures out that she has like a 30-meter radius that she can jump from one person to another. So he takes her to an isolated place, and she's like, "I remember that we were friends, and let me kiss you so that I can remember." And Peter kisses her, and then it turns out to be the telepath, controlling MJ. And Spider-Man gets really pissed, and whenever he gets like pissed or anything, he like his eyes goes black and he loses control. That's the whole thing happening. And he saves MJ, but he's like, I need to keep her protected. So he goes to Frank and he's like, keep MJ safe. And he tries to redesign his inhibitor so that it does not overheat. MJ helps him figure this stuff out, and the next day he leaves to fight her at TRD office because he got a scan of her face when she was visiting him. So he basically tracked her, and now he knows where she is. So he leaves. He says to Frank that, "Hey, Frank, keep her safe. I will go there. I'll figure this stuff out." And he leaves. Now we realize that she has, freed the Hulk, and it's still the Smart Hulk, all right? So Spider-Man gets there and he fights with Smart Hulk. And at this point, it was feeling a lot like Captain America, the Falcon one. I mean, Brave New World, like a telepath, making the Hulk come out. It was like that, the telepath. controlled Hulk to, go savage. And well, Spider-Man manages to, beat some sense into Banner. The smart Hulk goes away, Banner becomes normal, but he's like, she broke something inside my head. And then comes the Hulk. Oh my god, it has been so long. If you had to count some of the plus points of this movie, this was one of them. Like, this was a major dub because, like, I mean, last time we saw Hulk was in Thor Ragnarok, and he lost to Thor, and like in the final sequence, he was battling that beast. That was the last of him. After that, we saw him fight Thanos. He got beaten up, and after that, we have not seen Hulk for like 7 or 8 years. And he goes like he is 7, 8 feet tall now, and that was such a cool moment. Like, yeah, that was some good stuff, and I really enjoyed that. But then again, here comes another problem. So in the movies, I don't remember there being any, special relation between Spider-Man and Hulk. I mean, they would barely have met each other before this. Like in the comics, I totally get it. There was like Spider-Man is one of the only few people Hulk, really trusts and is friends with them. And when this whole thing happened that everyone forgot who Spider-Man was, Hulk still remembered because the spell worked on Bruce Banner and they are friends. Even in the animated shows, it's there. Like Peter understands Hulk. Hulk is, nice with him. There is this whole dynamic, but this does not work when you have no such previous background. Spider-Man has not helped Hulk. Even if he has, we have not seen it. We saw like a few moments of him interacting with Banner. That's all we got. And well, he fought Hulk, manages to calm him down, and well, that's the end of it. And then we move on to, him using that inhibitor on Jean Grey. So I feel like that the whole mutant collar thing would arise from this, and the whole mutant hate would as well. This was like the stepping stone for X-Men, like proper, introduction of X-Men, because the telepath, if you had not figured out it, was Jean Grey. And it was like, at first I thought these were speculations, but maybe these were leaks or whatever. But yeah, I was hoping that it was someone else, so it would be a nice surprise that, well, they got proven wrong. There was this whole thing where Sadie Sink was like, well, I bet no one can guess my character. And like everybody has guessed Jean Grey. I was like so sure that, I mean, it's so bait that they won't do it, would they? And they had not, set up any X-Men previously. Like we got a few glimpses in Kamala Khan that she was a mutant, but I mean, honestly, how many people have even seen it? And to jump from Kamala Khan to Jean Grey, which is like one of the main X-Men, I mean, that's wild, but sure, why not? So he puts the inhibitor on Jean. Jean gets taken by DRDO, and then Spider-Man does some more digging. He finds out that Jean had a sister who also had the same telepathic powers. I'm not sure about her sister existing in comics or not, but she is not that prominent because, I mean, obviously I don't know about her. Maybe it is present, maybe not. Who even cares? She's there for like a few flashback scenes and then she's dead. And that's the whole motivation of Jean Grey to, like find out if her sister is still alive and where she's being kept, but she's dead. So yeah. And in all this while, we get MJ realize that Peter is Spider-Man because she read that letter because, well, he just left her on a table. Like, what else was gonna happen? But yeah, again, I was expecting, and maybe because that's just what I went in expecting. That's why I got disappointed. But honestly, this was supposed to be more focused on, Spider-Man just doing his own thing, dealing with new people, but they just brought back in Ned and MJ. Like they were there for 20% or 30% of the story, and like MJ helped him build the inhibitor. They could have introduced Gwen Stacy or something like, all right, Peter has also moved on. He has, new people, but well, I guess maybe some people would like it. I mean, it just didn't work for me personally. And yeah, and Peter takes help from Yelena, and she informs Peter that well, she had a sister named Sasha or something, and she got captured by DRDO. Peter realizes that she was just trying to find her sister. So now Peter breaks into the DRDO office, and all this while the DRDO Mr. Milchik is experimenting on Jean to figure out how her powers work, and she basically stops the whole city or something like that, which we see in the trailer, that weird shockwave thing. Yeah, Jean releases that, and her powers are basically adapting. Earlier it was like only 30 meters, but now she can stop this whole thing. Now she can use things telepathically, and control things through her mind, like basic Jean stuff. So that's what happens. All this while Spider-Man tries to break in. Jean has this dialogue with Spider-Man that, are you Peter or you Spider-Man? Choose. And he says, I'm both. And he embraces his mutation. And he's just too powerful, which Spider-Man really is quite powerful. He holds back all the time, and I feel like this mutation was the buff they needed to give him before Doomsday. So people would be like, all right, he's a heavy hitter, which he was already, but this was probably just to make it like obvious that guys, take him seriously. He's got some serious firepower here, and he does all that. He gets in, and he tries to convince Jean that killing is not an option. Killing won't make things right. Again, like Supergirl, the whole thing like, oh, you should not kill your enemies, yada yada yada, whatnot, and he goes inside Peter's mind. We have like an Aunt May sequence there, which was nice, but I mean, the movie didn't just, it just didn't hit the spot. But when Punisher saw all this, and he like goes up on a roof, and he takes a shot at Jean Grey, so that the force field would end. Spider-Man, saves her. He takes the bullet. If they would have killed Spider-Man here, this could have been like some really surprising stuff, and like it would have like maybe made the experience a bit better, because you don't expect that, right? And yeah, I was hoping that are they really that brave? Like, are they really going to kill Spider-Man? I mean, I knew in the back of the mind that, I mean, they won't kill their most profitable character off, but yeah, uh, I was expecting something. I don't know. So yeah, Spider-Man survives. Now he's like friendly with all these people, and I feel like maybe I was too out of it, but I'm pretty sure the police chief, which was like well, she was played by the sous chef from Bear Show. I don't remember the name of the actress. I guess she's Morales as well. So there it is. We may be getting Miles Morales soon. So, all right, let's get into. Well, the video is quite long, but you know what? My finishing thoughts would be that it was decent, but a lot of things were there just for the sake of it, like the hand, as I said, the Hulk. They could have, done something else, man. Like, the Hulk was there for 7, 8 minutes, maybe. It's nothing like world breaking. Like, if Hulk could not have been there, it would not have really impacted the story. Maybe the inhibitor idea. They could have done so much more, but I mean, it was a little disappointing. But then again, I do love Spider-Man, so maybe that's why I'm being a bit too harsh. Because the movie is alright, and yeah, it's okay. And they are setting up the whole X-Men hate, because Jean Grey did like control take over people's body, which is, not nice. People would hate you for that. You took over someone's body, you ran a tank through the city, and you are telling me no one died. You put an explosive in that tank, and you just went in with a building full of people. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure she has killed some people, but you know what, let's just let her have that. So yeah, and the inhibitor as well. We've got the thing which can be used against mutants. DRDO would be like, oh, well, Peter used this, so we can make an advanced version of this to control mutants, which I'm pretty sure will happen later on. And what else? Punisher, alright. So Punisher was alright. There was banter between Punisher and Spider-Man, which was, kind of fun. But then you start thinking about the conversation with him and Daredevil, and like, dude, this has like some real contrasting stuff happening because Punisher is like a really serious kind of guy, but in this one he's a bit more on the chill side of it. Like, yeah, there are still, his core elements there. He's like still very touchy about his family. He still has his tough guy thing, but yeah. Well, yeah, we didn't really get J. Jonah Jameson in this one, nothing. So, yeah, that's sad. Well, I would have loved to see, J.K. Simmons back, but yeah, let me think if I have missed anything. I mean, this movie lacked a proper villain, because as soon as you realize that Jean Grey is the main villain, you know that she is going to be one of those good guys who, were just in a bad circumstance kind of thing. Because, well, you get Scorpion, he does nothing, he gets beaten to pulp in like 2 minutes, nothing happens there. You get Hulk, again, nothing crazy. You get the Hand, which is like basically ninjas. You could have like used anybody really. And you get Jean Grey, who's not really a villain because she was just trying to save her sister. So this this feels like they have wasted, some potential gold movie here. But you know what? It is what it is. Still, make your own opinion about this. Maybe you'll love this one. One of those memes. The internet hasn't told me yet how to feel about this movie, so I will withhold my opinions for now. So, you know what? Don't do that. Just, I guess, watch the movie and let me know how you felt about it. I am a little disappointed, but it's not like the worst thing I've seen. It's pretty good, and you will enjoy it. Maybe I feel like I'm being a little too harsh on it, but yeah, that's just my thoughts. Thanks for watching. I guess that's it for this one. Bye bye.